Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News, your most reliable source for verified information and financial insight into the evolving landscape of global currencies, especially the IQD. Today's report is not just another update. It marks a historic shift. After 2 decades of anticipation, strategy, and patience, Iraq's official revaluation of the Iraqi dinar is finally taking place. If you followed this journey since the early 2000s or even joined more recently, this is the update that changes everything. As of the current date in the USA, Iraq is officially moving forward with the revaluation of its national currency. According to confirmed reports, the revaluation will begin on June 23, 2025. This is not speculation or rumor, it is a declaration from within Iraq's financial leadership. After 20 years of delays, analysis, and preparation, the IQD is finally stepping into a new era of value and legitimacy. For investors, analysts, and everyday holders of the dinar, this news marks a financial turning point that could reshape portfolios and transform futures. So what does revaluation actually mean in this context? It's when a country's central bank increases the official value of its currency relative to others. In Iraq's case, this means that the dinar, long undervalued on global currency markets, will now reflect a stronger and more accurate position. The value boost becomes official on June 23rd, and insiders report that while the final adjusted rate remains confidential, the increase is expected to be substantial enough to trigger widespread institutional engagement. Banks and international platforms are already preparing for incoming demand and recalibrating their systems accordingly. This shift is more than just a rate update. It's a sign of confidence in Iraq's broader economic and political stability. Over the last few years, the country has made serious reforms. The Central Bank of Iraq has improved its infrastructure, digitized much of the national payment ecosystem, and prioritized transparency. One of the biggest changes? The move away from physical cash. More than 80% of government transactions are now handled through digital cards. This modern shift makes Iraq more compliant with international standards and less vulnerable to fraud and inflationary pressure. The ripple effect will reach far beyond Iraq's borders. This isn't just a domestic change, it's a global one. Investors around the world are watching closely. Depending on the final exchange rate, many IQD holders could see dramatic increases in their portfolio values. But this revaluation isn't only about personal gain. It also positions Iraq as a stronger partner for international trade and economic development. Foreign companies may now look to Iraq as a secure location for expansion. With added stability comes job creation, improved salaries, and growth in services for the Iraqi population. That's the kind of transformation that reaches both top-level finance and the everyday citizen. This moment also means something powerful to the IQD community, a global network of researchers, investors, and believers who never stop paying attention. From online forums and Telegram groups to YouTube channels and international discussions, this movement has endured for 2 decades. Despite skeptics and long delays, people remained hopeful. That belief wasn't blind. It was supported by economic data, banking reform, and global policy shifts. Today, that belief is being validated by action. For many, this is not just a revaluation. It's a milestone of perseverance and strategic thinking. But as we move into this next phase, it's critical to remain realistic. A revaluation, while promising, does not guarantee instant wealth. Currency markets can be volatile, and changes like this don't unfold the same way for every holder. Some may see fast returns, others may have to wait through fluctuations or temporary delays. And, as always, when money is involved, so are scams. This is the moment when people must be vigilant. Don't trust unverified claims. Don't rush into questionable deals. Stick to licensed financial institutions. Consult professionals, and act based on data, not emotion. As June 23rd draws near, all eyes are also on Iraq's oil sector. Iraq remains one of the top oil-producing nations in the world, and global oil markets have a direct impact on the strength of the dinar. Fortunately, recent international agreements have brought much-needed stability to oil pricing. If that trend holds, it could help support the new valuation long-term. Iraq's diplomatic outreach has also grown. Trade ties with nations like China, Turkey, and Gulf allies are strengthening, giving Iraq a larger economic footprint across the region. All of these factors point toward one thing: readiness. To fully understand the scope of this revaluation, we must also consider Iraq's unique position on the geopolitical stage. The nation has spent years balancing relationships between two dominant global players, the United States and Iran. Its ability to maintain dialogue with both has played a critical role in creating the calm environment necessary for financial stability. In recent months, quiet but consistent progress in U.S.-Iran relations has given Iraq even more room to breathe economically. Peace in the region supports stronger currency confidence, which in turn strengthens the revaluation's foundation. The more peaceful and cooperative the Middle East becomes, the better the conditions for the IQD to rise and remain stable over time. This revaluation is not an isolated event. It's part of a global economic adjustment. It involves diplomacy, trade alliances, energy stability, and digital finance reform. New investors entering the scene now have an opportunity not only to participate in a financial shift, but to learn valuable lessons about international economics. If you're new to the IQD journey, now is the perfect time to study how currency valuations work, what influences foreign exchange, and how macroeconomic forces create and sustain value. The smarter you are, the safer and more successful your investment decisions will be. It's also important to understand that diversification remains crucial. While many are excited about the potential of the IQD, it should never be your only asset. Holding other forms of wealth, stocks, real estate, precious metals, or even cryptocurrencies, can protect your overall financial health in case markets shift. No one should ever build an entire future on a single outcome, no matter how promising it appears. Looking ahead, experts suggest that if Iraq continues to uphold its reforms and strengthen internal policies, the dinar may keep gaining value gradually over the next few years. If that happens, the country could become a major economic player in the Middle East, capable of attracting foreign capital at a much higher rate. The potential exists for Iraq to become a hub of commerce, infrastructure growth, and regional trade. And it all starts with this moment, the revaluation. Imagine what Iraq could look like 5 or 10 years from now if this momentum continues: a robust economy, rebuilt infrastructure, increased foreign investment, and better living standards for its people. This revaluation, taking place on June 23, 2025, may be the first real step toward that vision. For those who've held their IQD with patience and purpose, this may feel like both an ending and a beginning. This milestone carries with it the weight of 2 decades of hope. Since 2003, when Iraq's currency lost its footing, people from around the world have been waiting for the country to rise again. And now, it's happening. The date June 23rd won't just be another day. It will become a symbol of recovery, persistence, and renewal. For those who believed, who stayed informed, and who refused to walk away, this is the payoff. And that's what makes this community so unique. From investors and analysts to everyday people who saw potential in the dinar, the IQD journey has always been about more than just profit. It's been about strategy, discipline, and staying ahead of mainstream narratives. Communities like ours have helped spread truth, filter out hype, and provide real-time updates that have guided many through the uncertainty. This is the moment when all that effort begins to make sense. Now that revaluation is confirmed, the best move is to be calm, clear-headed, and strategic. Don't let excitement rush your decisions. Consult your financial planner. Organize your documents. Create a plan for post-exchange taxes. Speak with professionals about the difference between capital gains and ordinary income based on your specific case. Know what to do before the rates hit your account. Preparation is power. And finally, let's talk about the people behind the screen. You. Whether you've been holding dinar for 5 years or 20, this moment is part of your financial journey now. Take pride in your discipline and vision. Let this be your reminder that knowledge pays off when it's matched with patience and preparation. And if you're still holding and waiting, remember, the revaluation may be the spark, but the long-term opportunity will come from how you manage what follows. We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Are you planning to exchange immediately or wait? What kind of preparation have you done? How long have you been holding IQD? Your story matters, and it could help someone else navigate this moment more wisely. If this report brought you clarity, give it a like and pass it along to fellow investors. Subscribe to Iraqi Dinar News and turn on the bell icon, because new updates, exchange instructions, and rate confirmations are likely in motion. This is the moment we've all been waiting for, and now it's here. Stay focused, stay informed, and most of all, stay ready. This is just the beginning.